Alright, we're gonna jump right into this one, so are you all ready for
the big news?
Big news. The Star Wars sequel trilogy is actually better than you think. That's right. The sequel trilogy actually makes sense.
Boy, you really are a sad little fucker, aren't you?
But apparently, I am going after the wrong person because this is not shilling for Disney.
Oh, no. We are not shilling for Disney. And you guys know, I have made numerous videos blasting the rise of Skywalker. I even created a puppet of J.J. Abrams so I could vent my frustrations.
So the logic is, I made videos criticizing the rise of Skywalker, therefore I can praise and defend Disney Star Wars all I want now, and I cannot be called a shill.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't buy it. I'm pretty sure all of you don't buy it. And half this guy's own audience doesn't buy it. So let's dive into this video and find out for ourselves, shall we?
Hang on, this is gonna be bad.
I think all three of these movies succeed in what actually makes for a good movie. The visuals, the acting, the storytelling, and the theme. But the thing is, guys, these are all well-made movies. Arguably, they're better films than the prequels.
You fucked up.
Ah yes, trashing the prequels in order to elevate the sequels. Definitely not a Disney Star Wars shill tactic.
Now, to be fair, I do want to praise the many great things about this movie. J.J. Abrams is a great director. He's able to add in small moments that really make a scene pop, like whereas the prequels are the exact opposite. George Lucas's blue screen set seemed to dampen all of the energy in a scene.
Are you fucking retarded?
Abrams and Johnson were trying to make a Star Wars trilogy that redeemed the franchise in the eyes of the prequel haters. But prequel babies like Doug grew up and all of a sudden we now have prequel nostalgia.
No, it's just that the sequel trilogy was so bad, many Star Wars fans who didn't like the prequels look back on them now post-sequel trilogy and acknowledge that in comparison, yes, the prequels are nowhere near as bad.
It's also interesting, though, to see the backlash against the sequel trilogy and to remember what it was like in the early 2000s when people hated the prequels. I mean, hated them, like drove Jar Jar actor Amon Best to near suicide hated them.
Jesus Christ, for the 1000th time, it was not the fans who bullied Ahmad Best. It was the media. I mean, did this guy even check the very source that he used in this video and read what it said?
Show this to your editor. Tell him to check his source next time.
On a trip to New York with his son, he found himself walking along Brooklyn Bridge. He pulled out his phone, took a photo, and tweeted how the media backlash once pushed him onto the edge of a bridge.
Now, one thing we're always careful about here on Screen Crush is to make sure that we double check our sources and we always make sure that we're giving you the real facts.
Yeah, great job double checking that source.
You are fake news.
But the thing is, those prequel lightsaber duels are flashy, they're pretty, but they don't feel real. They're the WWE, while this duel is a straight up street fight.
Does this guy not understand that all of the lightsaber battles in Star Wars are choreographed? And for you to come out and imply that the prequel lightsaber battles came across as fake or staged or WWE-like?
Friendly reminder that the Mustafar duel didn't use stunt doubles and wasn't sped up in any way. Hayden and Ewan were just that good at dueling each other. This is true. That was us. There were no stunt doubles and they didn't speed it up at all. We were just that good.
They're the WWE, while this duel is a straight up street fight.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, and just a friendly reminder that this nonsense we just listened to is not shilling for Disney.
Oh, no. We are not shilling for Disney.
Right.
So with the prequels completely disrespected, it's time to move on now to the sequel trilogy and why they're really not as bad as we all think. Beginning, of course, with The Force Awakens.
This actual movie works great. The cast is outstanding. I think this is actually the best assembly of actors ever put together for a Star Wars film. J.J. Abrams also gave us the best blend of CGI and practical effects we've seen since the movie Titanic.
Absolutely fucking not.
And yes, it is really stupid that the Empire is just back now. But J.J. Abrams and Lawrence Kasdan said that their premise was, what if the Nazis hid out in Argentina and then returned? Now yes, this does take away from the victory in Return of a Jedi, but that's life, isn't it?
The sequels took a lot of things away from the original trilogy, and yes, especially Return of the Jedi.
That's why I hate it.
Biggest, of course, being the victory over Palpatine from Luke and Anakin because, we just had to give it to Rey.
And as far as the movie being a copy of A New Hope, so is The Phantom Menace, and a lot of people like Doug here love that movie.
What?
So your defense of The Force Awakens being a ripoff of A New Hope is, well, The Phantom Menace is also a ripoff of A New Hope.
You went full retard, man.
Yes, Luke and Anakin's journeys are very similar. They both leave Tatooine with a Jedi Master, go on an adventure. Luke destroys the Death Star, Anakin destroys the Trade Federation droid control ship. But outside of Anakin's story, these are very different movies. The whole plot of TFA from beginning, middle to end. Vital piece of information stored in a droid. Protagonist and friends have to get droid to rebellion/resistance. Planet destroyer weapon. Countdown for planet destroying weapon being able to fire on rebellion/resistance. Good guys destroy planet destroying weapon.
And as far as the movie being a copy of A New Hope, so is The Phantom Menace. Oh, no, we are not shilling for Disney.
Bullshit.
Obviously, I could go on, but for the sake of time, let's just move on to The Last Jedi.
Kill me.
Now look, a lot of digital ink has already been spilled on this movie, and much better film scholars than myself have defended it or torn it down. I, for one, love the movie.
Really? What a shock.
You see, The Last Jedi, like The Empire Strikes Back, is about failure.
Go fuck yourself.
God, imagine trying to compare The Last Jedi to The Empire Strikes Back.
It's also, I think, the most visually stunning Star Wars film. You have the large spectacle shots like the Holdo maneuver, but also Johnson places the camera in these intimate spaces, directly in the characters' eye lines. And that Praetorian Guard fight is the best choreographed fight in Star Wars.
What? What?
What the fuck is this?
This fight where the Praetorian Guard's blade just vanishes is the best choreographed fight in Star Wars? This fight where this dude on the left just randomly runs away, and then Kylo stabs the floor, and instead of going for his head, the guy goes for the blade and then runs off the screen as well?
Anything else?
How about Rey doing a single kick and sending 3 dudes flying away?
And that Praetorian Guard fight is the best choreographed fight in Star Wars.
Oh, no. We are not shilling for Disney.
You so full of shit.
You know what? Do me a favor, guys. Hit that thumbs up button if you think this guy is shilling for Disney.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Rise of Skywalker.
So now, let's talk about The Rise of Skywalker, why it's not as bad as you think, and why, when you view the whole of this trilogy, its stupidest decisions actually make sense. If you were to walk into this film with no knowledge of other Star Wars films, I think this cast and the sense of humor make for a good time. There is one scene in this movie, though, that I love with all of my heart, and it is Rey and Kylo's fight on the Death Star.
Reminder, he said earlier that this was better than all of the prequel duels.
And to be honest, guys, I really like that Palpatine is a Force vampire, and I don't even mind that he comes back. And that Rey face-off with Kylo's TIE Fighter is one of the best fight sequences in a Star Wars.
You serious?
And if you thought that was bad, wait till you hear this.
The moment where Rey summons Force Lightning was absolute genius. The kind of game-changing Star Wars moment that you never see coming. And we've never really seen a Jedi on screen struggle with their dark side.
What? Again, what?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Rey is the only Jedi that has ever struggled with the dark side. So I guess Anakin, after his mother died in his arms and then he just ended that tribe of Tusken Raiders, was not struggling with the dark side?
Young Skywalker is in pain. Terrible pain.
And I slaughtered them like animals. I hate them.
Clearly not struggling with the dark side in this scene, right? How about when he kills Dooku in Revenge of the Sith and then acknowledges that that is not the Jedi way?
I shouldn't have done that. It's not the Jedi way.
His fear of losing Padme and his unborn child after seeing visions of their deaths?
The fear of loss is a path to the dark side.
But we haven't ever really seen this explored well in the movies and shows. Anakin's turn was essentially a light switch, but here Rey is really struggling.
Anakin's turn was like the flip of a light switch. No, it was not. It was built to, as I just showed you. The Disney strong whammon force just turning on for both Rey and Sabine in Disney Star Wars, that is the flick of a light switch. And yes, Luke struggled with the dark side as well, but of course, according to Shill Crush, not as much as Rey.
It was never really a concern for Luke right up until the moment he almost turned.
Yes it was. Yes, it was when he left Dagobah before completing his Jedi training out of fear of losing Han and Leia.
You must not go.
But Han and Leia will die if I don't.
Both Yoda and Obi-Wan warned him.
This is a dangerous time for you, when you will be tempted by the dark side of the Force.
If you end your training now, if you choose the quick and easy path, as Vader did, you will become an agent of evil.
So I guess this is a new tactic amongst the Disney shills, which is to completely ignore significant events in George Lucas' Star Wars because, you know, it doesn't make their favorite Disney characters look as good.
Oh, no. We are not shilling for Disney.
You are.
You see, the reason these sequel trilogy defenders shill so hard for the sequels even today is because they desperately, like we talked about earlier, want the sequel trilogy to become embraced by the fandom like the prequels did. And they think Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau in their Ahsoka, Mandalorian, Mandoverse timeline, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire movie, if God forbid that gets made, all of that will fix the sequel trilogy. Obviously, it's not going to happen due to the horrible job Disney Star Wars has done in this timeline, but these Disney shills still think it's possible, which is why we as real Star Wars fans must continue to reject it all, trash it all, and trash the Disney Star Wars shills who continue to support it. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out some of the other videos of the Disney Star Wars shills defending the sequel trilogy that are already up and live on the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.